ask you to expand a little more on this affirmatively furthering fair housing laws, and also the role of equity in reaching the RENA numbers, and the factors that HCD looks at. I represent Alameda on ABAG, and I'm also on the regional planning committee of that body. And we've certainly talked a lot about it, but I think they're important topics. Could you just give a little briefing for the general public?
Certainly. Our duty to affirmatively further fair housing goes back to the Fair Housing Act of 1968. And so this is something that's been around over 50 years. And I mean, it's fair to say that many would say we've not done a very good job at it. And anyways, with the Obama administration around in 2015, there was a ruling that took another kind of a refresh and just a stronger approach to implementing that long-standing obligation. There was a ruling, and then there's a handbook and various things like that, and then we had a change in administration. And then all those things went away very quickly. But our legislature, and then as well as through the leadership of our governor, but mainly coming from the legislature, it was AB 686 that took that obligation and put it into our state laws. And it's two parts. First part is what we refer to, if you like numbers and stuff, is a government code 8899.50. And basically, this is an obligation on all public agencies, and that should be broadly construed, meaning any subdivision of the state, to affirmatively further fair housing in all programs and activities related to housing and community development. That's a big bucket. Everybody should be doing it now. And affirmatively furthering fair housing isn't just about discrimination. It's about proactively promoting more inclusive communities. So there's that piece. And then there's a second piece that brings a lot of the requirements and a lot of the concepts from the affirmatively furthering fair housing ruling of 2015 into housing element law. So now we have this duty in our general plans, or they will be in our general plans. And so there's a lot of analysis. There's analysis around fair housing enforcement. There's a lot of analysis around segregation, integration, racially, ethnically concentrated areas of poverty, access to opportunity, or disparities in access to opportunity and disproportionate housing needs, including displacement. There's also now a requirement that when you identify sites, those must be done in a way throughout the community that promotes more inclusive, that affirmatively further fair housing. And all this analysis needs to go into your goals and actions. And so when we're looking at your analysis, all of those different components I'm talking about, you're going to look at your local information. You're going to look at the patterns, the trends, the policies and practices, the demographics within your community, and compare, neighborhood to neighborhood or what have you. But we will also be looking for a comparison of you, Alameda, to your surroundings, and whether you reflect the composition of your broader region. And if you don't, then what has led to that, and specific goals and actions to overcome those patterns. And it's something that is required. There must be meaningful actions, and certainly we would be focused on zoning and practices that simply limit housing choices. And so it's just something that will, obviously we're going to go through all the mechanics of looking at things formally if you do request that. But I would say, just based on my experience, it certainly will